I am on a mission to get my life put back together piece by piece so I can climb out of the rut that I got myself in and get back to doing the things that I love and living life to the fullest. But what happens whenever one of the largest winter storms in years lands right on top of me? With the entire state buried in snow and wind chills in the negative. Well, howdy y'all. Hope y'all have had a good week. So I started out this week with one goal in mind, and that was to get back into the gym consistently, 30 minutes every day. Now that was a lot easier said than done, and let's just say this week threw some pretty unique challenges my way. Now the weather did not offer me any favors in terms of wanting to meet my goals for this week, but it did offer me plenty of excuses. However, excuses aren't free. Excuses cost time, and time is not something that I have the luxury of. Well, it's snowing, and it's actually snowing so bad that I'm going to end up having to stay at the hotel tonight, which kind of messes up my plans for the weekend, but it is what it is. Gotta make money. And whenever you work for a place that's willing to put you up, calling out due to weather really ain't an excuse. But the snow isn't as bad as the freaking cold, man. Like my hand hurts. I hope whichever one of these college girls prayed to get 6 inches this weekend and for it to hurt. I really wish that they had been more specific. Oh, Lord. Yeah, it's been snowing. Ooh, non-stop all day. My hand hurts. Tell you what, let's go inside where it's warm. This week started off pretty rough. Getting snowed in at the same hotel where I work is not the best way to start a week, especially with a week where I was really hoping to get caught up from the last snowstorm. Luckily, Sunday afternoon rolled around and I was able to make it on back to the house. And I had the next couple days off, so I was able to really buckle down and get to work. Well, part of my new diet, if you want to call it that, is to eat things that are high in protein and low in carb. And whenever I think of meals that are high protein and low carb that I enjoy making, I think of steak and eggs. Now, I had first started making steak and eggs whenever I was living in Alaska, mainly because it was relatively quick and easy to make, not to mention in the small town where I was, everything had to be brought in on a barge. So steak and eggs was one of the cheaper items that I could get at the store. So this week, we got absolutely pounded with snow. I would dare say that we got at least, if not more than 8 inches of snow in less than 24 hours. And the snow brought with it some very real challenges. It's been cold. Bone-chillingly cold. Inside and out. The inside of the house was in the 50s, and outside, the lows got down into the single digits. My road was covered up with ice and snow, so I had to walk up and down the driveway just to be able to get in or out of the house. And, of course, take special care that I didn't slip fall and then baby penguin myself down to the end of the road. But with the hike up and down from the house being a really big factor, and with the cold wanting me to avoid making multiple trips, I had to take pretty bare bones, just bare necessities, what I needed. And then, of course, there's the factor of road safety. See, I live in a college town. I live in a town where the majority of the people who live here just learned how to drive maybe 3 years ago. Most of them don't know how to drive at all, much less drive in the snow. So that required a lot of extra careful planning my route, planning where there would be a lot of people, where there would be no people, planning when and where I was going to be going uphill, downhill, speed up, slow down. There was a lot of careful planning that had to be taken into account with each trip I made from the house to the gym. Alright, so I went over to the barber shop and got a quick haircut. I always feel better after I get a haircut. That's just one of my favorite feelings on the planet. It'll make you feel like $1,000,000 even though you're only worth about 10 cents. Whew. It's actually warmed up. It's in the low 30s today. Now, this was not my first attempt at trying to achieve a consistent gym routine. I have tried and failed multiple times, and each time I fell prey to the same tricks. All or nothing thinking, lack of planning, and overall just making excuses to not go. I remember many times that I would just sit in the parking lot and come up with all manner of reasons as to why I shouldn't go to the gym today. Which is why consistency was my main goal for the week. I wasn't counting reps. I wasn't counting how many varieties of which exercise I was doing in each session. All I was concerned about was going in and getting it done. Now, I've mentioned before, my job is not the most physically intense job in the world, but it is very mentally taxing. I'm the guy that everybody goes to whenever they immediately have a problem and they want an immediate solution. And it's my job to make sure that they get that solution. And sometimes, people just want somebody to scream at. They want an emotional punching bag that they can just let out all of their frustrations on. And so, by the time I'm done with my work day, I'm too mentally shot to be able to do anything. I just go home and try to decompress. But I want to get back to living again. I want to get out from behind that desk, and I want to go back to doing the things that make me feel alive. And in order to do that, in order for me to be able to change my life, I'm going to have to reorganize some of the priorities of my life. And I'm going to have to really commit to this to be able to make it work, or else it's just going to fall apart just like everything else has. So if going to the gym is going to become the most important part of my day, then I need to reorient my entire day in that direction. All right, good morning. It is 4 a.m. and I've got to go work at the hotel today. Yay. So that means going to bed early, real early, and making sure that I have everything that I need packed and ready to go before I head out in the morning, so I don't have anything holding me back. Now, on my days off, I prefer to go swimming. Swimming is a great exercise. It's a full body workout. You get your arms, your legs, your core. It's one of those workouts where you can't exactly weenie out halfway through a set because, well, if you weenie out where the water is twice as deep as you are tall, you're going to die. So, self-preservation is an excellent motivator. If this week has taught me anything, it's that I'm more than capable of making it happen. I just got to get up and do the damn thing. So I had to be careful not to fall into the same traps. That's why I boiled everything down to its bare, basic bones. And after this week, I have a very firm foundation to be able to build on top of. I have a plan. I have an idea of what does work, what doesn't work, and I can start building up from here. It's all uphill from here, and I'm really excited to be able to take y'all on this journey with me. So what do we do now? Well, from here, we start building up. I got a bunch of more adventures coming up. I've got some stuff coming up next week that I'll tell y'all a little bit more about, and some things about the channel that I think y'all might want to know about. See, the name of the channel is not Montana's Weekly Vlog. The name of the channel is Narrow Rails and Mountain Trails. And we will get back to doing hiking videos whenever there's not 6 inches of snow outside and it's not 20 degrees. You know, we'll get back to doing some hiking videos here soon. And yeah, the trains will be rolling again here very shortly. Both with the group that I volunteer with, and I've got some pretty cool train videos planned. We're going to do some model railroad videos. I've got a really cool model railroad project planned that I'm going to be telling y'all more about later. And the ET and WNC history videos will be coming back here very soon. I've finally kind of got a plan for those, and I'm really excited to show them to y'all. So I hope you guys like the video, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see y'all once again next week. Okay, bye.